What's up, everybody? Episode 45, couple of bettors coming at you. Super Bowl special, right down the block from us in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the rain right now, gloomy weather. It'll get better for the weekend, though. Make sure the casinos make all that money, you know. God will part ways with the clouds for now, and we'll figure it out. But I guess we'll get right into, let's face it, players, coaches, and news. A lot of coaching movements going on. A lot of things going on here. So first off, Dan Quinn's getting his second shot to be a head coach. Formerly failed, but then he did a great job with the Cowboys, and now the Commanders have hired him to be a head coach. And then in a weird twist, Kliff Kingsbury was supposed to get the nod to be an offensive coordinator at the Raiders, and then contract talks kind of broke down last minute, and all of a sudden he got swooped up by the Commanders. So look, the Commanders, Dan Quinn and Kliff Kingsbury, two former head coaches, basically teaming up now with that squad. I mean, something interesting to look out for here. I mean, if I was a player, I'd be more apt to want to go there. Great defensive mind, great offensive mind now. So pretty interesting. And then for the Atlanta Falcons, you got Raheem Morris. So he got the nod. And apparently they might have offered the job to Bill Belichick. People are saying they did. Boomer Esiason said that he talked to an NFL executive that said he was offered the job. But I think that it must have been with some caveats, like you're not going to have full control and so on and so forth. So he's going to take the year off, probably figure out what's going on. Maybe there should be some other opportunities out there. Maybe the Giants, maybe the Jets, actually, oddly. I hope not. So Raheem Morris gets the nod there in Atlanta. So a little bit more of a younger blood situation than to go with Bill Belichick,
Did you just say you wouldn't want Bill Belichick for the Jets?
I wouldn't, because it's such a checkered past.
Well, anyways, speaking of Bill, his little son, Stevie, who's still rocking the mullet as if, business in the front, party in the back was still cool. He's now getting demoted to college because his daddy couldn't get a job anywhere, didn't want a job anywhere as a head coach. So he will be coaching the Washington college football team, not Washington Commanders pro football team.
Yeah. And look, at least it's a D coordinator job, and it's also without his daddy, right? So at least maybe people can judge him on his own merits at that point, hopefully. But we'll see. Sink or swim. And then next up, this psychopath, LeVeon Bell. And all those Jets fans out there, LeVeon Bell, the guy who looked so good for the Steelers for so long, and then we gave him a nice contract. And granted, we didn't have a quarterback at the time. He ran for about 2.8 yards a carry. And it was disgusting. And then he was on jet skis in Miami, talking about how he wants a big contract, and then he was his rap career, and then all of a sudden he just fizzled away. But now he wants to come back, so we'll see. He's making a push for another shot in the NFL here. I mean, he's still a young guy, I think. Yeah. I guess the rap career didn't work.
Well, yeah. Well, he tried it for 2 years, so he's definitely a young guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you start feeling a little bad for Patrick Mahomes here. His dad got his third DWI, and again, right before his son plays in the biggest game of his life for the third time, the Super Bowl. That poor guy, his family and his wife, just hot messes. He's surrounded by hot messes. You got to feel for him, especially when it's family. It's not really your choice. But yes, Patrick Mahomes Sr., third DWI, can't get it together.
I saw a good meme. It said it was a picture of him in his mugshot. And it says, I drink because one of my sons is Jackson Mahomes.
No, and because he's got to see him, and Jackson and Brittany, in their faces all over social media. That's why he drinks.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But, yeah, good memes. Still don't want anyone but the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl this year, but I do feel a little bit bad for Patrick.
Yeah, that sucks. They have to ask him about it. How's he doing? Oh, he's good. It's terrible.
All right, well, how did we do betting last weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was like not losing, but it could have been worse.
Well, the Ravens failed, so...
Yeah, that was rough.
Start with that. My lock of the week last week was a dud. Ravens could not cover the -3 or -3.5 that I had the -3.5. He had -3, but it wasn't even close anyway. So that was a big old loser.
Yeah, and my lock hit right away with the longest run over the 17.5 yards. So that was a great one. Love that one. Got me going for the weekend there. But yeah, the Chiefs, I mean, holding the Ravens to 10 points is, we'll talk about how their defense has really, been really what's holding them in there for the year. But that was rough. Didn't expect it.
The Lions did not win, but they did cover, so
They did.
definitely appreciate that. Wanted them in, really did. Really wanted the Chiefs to not be in it, probably more than the Lions to be in it. So at least we won money on that +7 spread versus the Niners, even though the Niners are in the Super Bowl now.
Yep, and those parlays didn't hit because we had the Ravens in them because we didn't want to put the Chiefs in them. So, look, I mean, it's getting to the point where, I'm debating whether or not Mahomes is going to be on that list of don't bet against. Right now I'll still do it, but he's getting there, All right, so, the whole big thing, the big game, we're allowed to call it a Super Bowl, or are we allowed to call it a big game? I'm not sure.
Nobody listens to us, so we can call it a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because out here, all these parties, it's a big game party. It can't be a Super Bowl party. Got to be a big game party. Because what? The NFL doesn't want... It's like promoting Super Bowl. I don't understand what they're doing. But they block you from saying it. Mm-hmm. But the Super Bowl is right down the block from us. And we wish it would have been either the Jets or the Bills.
The Bills.
But, yeah.
Should have been the Bills.
Didn't get there. But it's going to be interesting. We're going to the Thursday. We're going to the fan experience at Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It's 700,000 square feet of all kinds of football-related stuff. You want to run the 40. You want to get autographs. You want to whatever. Probably buy memorabilia is what they want you to do.
I think that's what it's going to be. A lot more shopping and a lot less the looking.
I got T-shirts to Super Bowl.
I mean, listen, I was telling him, we're going to do this stuff because we're here and we should. But most... if you're looking into it for the next Super Bowl, which is going to be in New Orleans next year, that's, you might just want to go to New Orleans because it's New Orleans. But, like, a lot of people say you spend a lot of money to wait in long lines and do a whole lot of nothing because you spend 3 hours a clip waiting in these lines. We will not be waiting in lines. But at least we can, check out a couple of bettors for some videos and posts that kind of show you what it is like and decide for yourself. That's the only reason why we're doing it. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, and look, speaking of how much everything costs and everything like that. So this one was a pretty cheap event, $50 to get in or whatever. Mm-hmm. But everything around the city is bananas. I mean, everyone's got a come to the big game brunch on Saturday morning. What does brunch on Saturday morning have to do with the Super Bowl? I don't know. They probably put one, when they come over with the bottles, the sign says like big game on it. And that's the only thing what else does that have to do with big game?
Well, it's the party capital of the world, so now you're just throwing in an excuse. I mean, half the ladies around here are not going to give a shit about the Super Bowl, who's in it. Maybe they'll know who Patrick Mahomes is and Travis Kelce, but that's about it. They're here for the men and the dressing up and the alcohol, and so am I, so why not, the alcohol.
Let me ask you this. How many, like the big DJs, like whatever, Calvin Harris and Tiesto, how many are going to do a couple... Taylor Swift remix jams? They're gonna. Well, because of the ladies, they're gonna do it for the ladies.
Luckily for us, we can't afford to go to any of those big ticket items, so we will not have to listen to it. But this Super Bowl is the most expensive Super Bowl to date. The average cost of a ticket at Allegiant is about $12,000. They were originally, the low nosebleed seats were about $8,800. They kind of dropped this week, meaning as of like yesterday, to $5,800 for the cheapest ticket, because as you get closer, if there's seats open, they're going to try to sell them, so prices might continue to go down. You got Usher as the halftime show, which everybody apparently is all excited about. However, he does his residency here. So if you really care, you could just see him doing his residency. He is going to have Alicia Keys and Lil Jon as special guests for the halftime show. He's got the 2 hits with them, so that was kind of not a surprise. This is a little different. Tiesto is going to DJ the entirety of the Super Bowl. No Super Bowl has had a well-known DJ DJing in between... during commercial breaks, I should say. So that is part of this excessive cost.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But there's no tailgating. I am kind of, in one sense, relieved that the Bills did not make it to the Super Bowl. Could I overlook this? Yes, absolutely. But if there's no tailgating, I don't know, they probably would all got arrested for tailgating or whatever it is. No tailgating kind of sucks, but they're not allowing it. You have to pay to do stuff if you go outside the stadium.
But they'll have like these like a little like thing where you pay $1,000 to go for a couple hours before the game, and like that's your tailgate. But it's like
they'll have bars, food trucks set up, but all of it's money, costs money, but no actual tailgates can be set up. Now, if you're high roller, which I don't know if you were reading some of the stuff, even McCaffrey on the 49ers couldn't afford a suite to put all of his family in. It was that expensive, and he's dating Olivia Culpo.
So they both have money.
She's got money, he's got money, and they couldn't afford it. Suites go from $1.4 million to $2.5 million. It includes everything: food, booze, comfortable place to sit. There's a couple examples on the pictures for you. The Wynn one is sick. I mean, I would suggest if you have money, you go during a regular game. It's just this crazy booth style, bottle service. It's as if you're at a club. That might be worth the money. I don't know. You're getting out of hand at this point when rich people can't afford these things.
The one thing I don't like about that for this game, though, is like everybody wants to see all the stuff that's happening during the commercial breaks and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So like usually what happens is there's almost like a little club inside. So when it becomes like a timeout or something, people go inside, they party, there's dancing, music on, or whatever, then they go back down to their little table area. Yeah. This one's they're going to be standing out there the whole time anyway. I don't think it's worth. I mean, whatever. None of it's worth it.
No, none of this is worth it. Just watch it on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay a couple $100 to get a table at one of the other bars, restaurants, clubs, just like we'll be doing, and you'll get similar experience. So.
Yep.
So don't feel bad that you didn't spend the money to come here. It was very expensive for everything. Flying here, and hotels, Jesus. We couldn't even get any friends to come visit. It was just way too much. So.
Yep. Well, let's get into the injury report. Talk about the game, right? And let's actually start talking about what's going to happen, what's going to go down here. So a couple people that are banged up. I mean, Charles Omenihu is ACL tear. He's out. So that for the Chiefs is gone. They're going to get a little bit of a boost back because McKinnon was activated off of IR, and it seems like they're gonna play him. But also Pacheco is a little bit like banged up. It says questionable. I'm sure he's gonna play.
I think he's gonna be in. Yeah. Just how well is he gonna do? Is it gonna be painful throughout the game? Is he not gonna know anything's wrong? I mean, he was goofing around on Monday night when they were, hanging out with everybody, interviewing them. That fun kind of interview thing. He had a good time, so he seems not worried about it.
Yeah, and then this Thuney, last game they weren't sure, he didn't play. This game is another one and they were just talking about it again today, where it said he got the doctor said, is it a pec tear or is it like a strain? And he's getting split results from the doctors about what it really is. And one of them they would allow him to play, the other one he shouldn't play. So I guess maybe it'll come down to what they all think. I mean, it's the last game of the season, right? Might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, that's what I would do. You hurt yourself, you got a whole offseason to get better. Whatever. George Kittle, he's probable with a toe. Again, another one that's been goofing around, having a good time, interviewing and doing all the activities. So most likely he'll be in and just fine. And Eric Armstead, he's questionable. I don't know. They haven't really said much about him so far, so we'll see.
My guess he'll play. It's like I think they're all going to be going, right? They're all pretty much going to be going.
The only, I think, issue, and this, of course, everything goes in favor of the Chiefs, and you'll see that in some of my prop bets later. The way they assigned practice fields to these two teams was the Chiefs get to practice in the Raiders practice facility, and then San Fran has to practice at UNLV facility, and apparently their field is shit at UNLV, and so now it's like Chiefs have a good setup for practicing, the Niners don't. I don't know why this always happens with the Chiefs. It's just insane, but that's something to keep in mind, unfortunately. I don't know if they haven't been complaining that much, like it's really affecting them, but they were not happy when they first got here on Sunday. Yeah,
apparently like Goodell was asked, and he said like they talked to a bunch of people, and it's like playable or whatever. Like it's like good enough is what the answer was. They threw sod basically over a turf field. They covered it up and they put grass on top of turf. So they said it's a little bit loose. There's seams at the grass. I don't know. But yeah, like you said, it always somehow favors the Chiefs a little bit. So,
anyone but the Chiefs.
I know, right? So I guess let's get into the actual game, right? A lot of interesting matchups here. First thing that comes to mind for me, though, is just Chiefs defense is playing so well. I mean, they're number 2 overall, but then the Niners offense has been playing so well. So to me, that's the matchup. Who's going to get the better of each other? They're both the best in the league, pretty much.
Obviously, during the Super Bowl.
No, but I mean, like, all of it like depends a little bit like how you how you look at things. Where is the secondary better than the run defense better than pass defense? So Kansas City's run defense has not been. You mentioned that last week has not been that great. They let up like 4.5 yards a carry for the season, but their pass defense is awesome. So like if McCaffrey and them get going on the ground, then they could really take advantage of that fact that their run defense sucks. But then again, like if they're forcing them to throw, like they've been really good in the secondary. But
I don't know. I'm putting my money on the Niners. This is truly just an emotional bet. I can't see the Chiefs winning again. This is too much. They shouldn't have even been here. I hate all of this. I'll be wearing this shirt loud and proud. Chiefs fans, some of you really suck as fans. I just want you. You're like the new Patriots to me. We need to stop. So I'm going to put some money on the Niners at -2 spread. It doesn't mean there's any statistical guarantee there that it's going to. I just hate the Chiefs, and I will not be rooting for them at all.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you might even want to throw a little money line just because, it's only a 2-point spread. Apparently, the books all took in a lot of futures bets that the Niners were going to win the Super Bowl from the beginning of the season. So they don't want 70-something% of the public is coming in on the Chiefs, yet they're not moving the line away from the Niners. Which is weird, but I think it's because they're kind of hedging themselves on the whole season. Because if the Niners win, and everyone also betting the Niners on the game, the books are going to lose their shirt. So they're saying, all right, bet on the Chiefs. We're a little bit hedged there, and that's what I think they're trying to do. But for me, I'm just here for the props. I'm leaning the Niners. I don't want to see the Chiefs win, obviously, but I want to put a bunch of prop bets in. So maybe we can get into it, like what we're betting, the prop bets. What's our locks? Because the locks this week are going to also be prop bets.
Right.
So you're going to bet the Niners, though.
Right. I am taking the Niners spread just because of my pure hatred towards the Chiefs right now. But just keep in mind, if you're not into props, prop betting is just a way to keep you motivated to pay attention and enjoy a Super Bowl in which you hate so much that the Chiefs are back in again. So the way we pick the props, we have some early ones, we have some middle ones, and we have some that rely on the end score. So we'll get into those. Again, I'm taking the Niners -2. Not high conviction there. I just want the Chiefs to lose. But then we picked some correct score ones. Now these, you put a little tiny bit of money on and you can win a lot. So he's putting a larger amount of money on them. I'm kind of like taking another 2 and with a smaller amount. This way we have 4 possibilities of winning. He'll win a lot. I'll win a little bit, but at least one of us might have a big win when we, for the household when it all finishes.
Example, it's like if you put $10, you win 2,000. If you put 100, like this guy might be doing 20,000. That's the chance here. So this is high flyers. Don't put all your money there, but it's a really nice one to think about. If it hits, it's like having a box, right? It's like having a Super Bowl box. You got a chance on it, and we'll see. So let's talk about these scores.
All right, so my baby ones. Excuse me. Now, I had to pick one where the Niners win, but also one where the Chiefs win because, let's be honest, anything can happen. So I have the 49ers scoring 28 and Chiefs ending with 21. And then I also have the 49ers losing with 24, but the Chiefs winning 28. So I think those are 2 very reasonable scores. It hits the over. The over-under is supposed to be 47.5, I believe, on this game. So it kind of makes sense. And if one of those two scores hits, I win 2 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the baby bets. I don't know if you want to follow me in those, but at least there's shots.
Yep, and look, this is like not uninformed either. It's not just we're picking them out of a hat. The ones that I'm picking here, which is pretty close, so we're right there with each other because we want to get the household victory here. But 27-23, and it could go either way. So Niners win 27-23, Chiefs win 27-23. Either one of those hit, a win 20 grand. And the reason behind this is not like so far fetched. So last year when the Chiefs were playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl, the spread was like, a small amount. It was like, 1 or something like that, right? So I said, look, I'm going to bet the end score to be exactly 3 points difference because you're figuring out if it's tie game, they kick a field goal, they win by 3. That's what it was. And that was a big money bet. Similarly here, if you take the implied score of the game based on the spread and the over-under, so -2 for the Niners, and then you get 47.5, the end score should be 25-23 49ers. 25 doesn't come up that much. That's not a number that comes up that much. So I'm just bumping it up to the 27 and basically saying it's going to be 27 to 23. The Niners end up covering, by the 4, or it goes the other way. So it's a little bit of an informed bet, and it's a flyer where, look, let's win the 20 grand, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, you can actually win some money on this one.
Real money.
Real money, and Lord knows we need it.
But before we know the end score.
Yes. Oh, this is a silly lock of the week, but this is my lock of the week. And I'm going Chiefs win the coin toss because they're the fucking Chiefs and they always get everything they want. And they want to be able to decide whether they're going to take the ball, defer the ball, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're the Chiefs. I guarantee you they're going to win this coin toss. I'm not going to say that that's going to lead them to be the winning team at the end, but those motherfuckers are going to win that coin toss. So I'm taking that as my lock of the week.
Yeah, and then next we're both on the first drive of the Chiefs to end in a field goal. So the bet here is, look, we don't want them to go down and score the touchdown like they did last week right away. Sure, we, especially she's betting the Niners, and we don't want the Chiefs to win. So we're reasonable people, though. We don't think they're going to punt. Go down, get the field goal. If we hit that one, it's plus money. So plus 375 on that one. So if you put $100 up, you win 375. That's pretty good. And then my lock of the week, Christian McCaffrey having a reception that's longer than 13 and a half yards. Think about this, guys. This should be easy. Yep. A screen pass out of the backfield goes for 30. I mean, he's been doing this stuff all year. And if you look at the game log, he's probably hitting this every other one. This is the playoffs, right? They got to get him going. And I know that he's going to have a big game. So Christian McCaffrey, longest reception, over 13 and a half yards. And when he hits that 14-yard screen pass at the end of the first quarter, just like last week, and was saying, Josh, good call on that one. And Christine's on it too because she loves it. Let's go.
And then we're both taking Purdy over 12 and a half rushing yards because, if he's going to win this game, he's going to have to rush a little bit. And let's see if he can do a big one with the 12 and a half. Both going on that over. Plus, it's fun to cheer for Purdy running.
And he had a couple big ones last week where he did this stuff. He was scrambling around. I feel like this is like
a couple weeks too.
letting him loose here, where it's like you got to win the fucking game. Mm-hmm. And he's been doing it a little bit with his legs. So I like that one, 12 and a half.
Be Josh Allen. Not as good as Josh Allen, but be Josh Allen. Think Josh Allen. Actually, Purdy, fun fact, Purdy was asked who he would want as his quarterback for fantasy on his fantasy team, and he said Josh Allen. Baller.
Did he
Absolutely.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
nice.
Yep. And then this one, this is just kind of more of a little fun one. It's very rough to achieve or attain, so I put a little bit of money on it, but I would love to see Kittle score 2 or more touchdowns. I'm sure he'll score 1, but if he can get that second one in, I gets to win me some money.
Plus 1,500. It's not unreasonable, right?
It's not unreasonable. You could put a little tiny amount on it, and then I want the Niners to score more points than the Chiefs. Kittle, we're all fans of Kittle. Why not? He hasn't done it. We looked it up, and he only scored like 6 touchdowns this whole season, but maybe he's going to bring it all for the Super Bowl, and his little toe will just be fine, and everything's going to be great. So, again, not something you necessarily want to follow me in, but I thought it'd be fun. Put a little bit of money on that. Kittle score 2 touchdowns or more.
I mean, I have a similar bet. I'm just not as ambitious.
Right.
I'm going to just go for 1 anytime touchdown. So if you don't know prop bets, you can bet them to be the first scorer. You can bet them to have a touchdown at any point in time. So I'm betting Kittle to have a touchdown at any point in time. And then we're both on Travis Kelce to do it because let's be honest.
It's free money.
It's free money.
It's free
I mean,
money.
It's this guy, he's touchdowns all over the place, especially playoffs. I mean,
well, he wants to, do the touchdown, look up at his future wifey, whatever, smile and say, look at me, I'm so good. You know what's going to happen. So if you just want a free few bucks, put on Kelce. But that's why I have my Kittle to score 2 or more touchdowns because I cannot see this damn Chiefs team win. So, yes, we have to put our money on where we think it's going to be free money.
Yep.
Chiefs coin toss, Kelce anytime touchdown, but then everything else, Niner bets.
Yeah, it was funny that somebody said, don't underestimate the Taylor Swift effect. And I just was going, They go, no, but any guy, if it could be beer-drinking Joe who brings his girlfriend down to watch him play basketball at the park, he's going to play a little bit better. He's going to ball out a little bit more.
Exactly what's going to happen. If that man don't score a touchdown this game, who knows? She might not see him as attractive as she once did because she just won a bunch of awards this week, right? Or something.
Yes.
So, right now she's flying this high. he needs to catch up. So
Absolutely.
he'll definitely get that 1 touchdown. So again, free money, people. Follow that prop bet. But anyone but the Chiefs. Anyone.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I really want it to happen. 27-23, guys. It's like having a 3-7 box. Think about that. 3-7, and it goes either way box. You just won it at your work pool. You put 100 in, and then all of a sudden there's how many squares, right? So there's only going to be 100 times 100, $10,000 worth of money in that pool. And then you have 3-7. That's in this pool, I put 100 in, and I win 20 grand. So it's the caboodle, right? But it's only outcome at the end. There's no halftime bets and, what is the reverse at the quarter and all those funny, silly things you guys all do. But get involved with the Super Bowl box too. Make some at your house. Make your friends put the numbers in there and do some gambling.
Make sure you keep a small chunk for yourself. The house needs money.
Oh, if you rake it, you're part of an illegal gambling operation, and they're going to come after you. So be careful out there, folks. Who's they? I don't know. These days, a lot of people are called they.
Oh, Jesus. Right. Well, this is going to be our last episode, by the way.
I think so. Yeah, maybe, if we just brag after we're leaving the game after winning a bunch of money, it'll just mostly be on Instagram doing shorts and do a lot of posts on YouTube and so on. So follow us there, especially if you want to look at the NFL experience Thursday. So we'll be posting this on Wednesday. So you have a day to prepare yourself to just, get on and like all the shit we post.
Well, we'll also be posting basketball bets because now that football is basically over, we've got to move on to other vices. So we got basketball, March Madness, professional basketball, hockey. We're always watching the Knights, and they've been pretty good at covering stuff. So check out our bets there. But this will be the last podcast for football. For
football season.
So
all right, folks. Enjoy that Super Bowl weekend. Eat yourself a 3-foot, 6-foot hero, whatever you want to get. Get the Mac salad. Get the wings.
The buffalo wings.
And do it right.
And make money.
Make some money.
Make some money.
That's all it's about, really. Put some prop bets together. Guys, you have all the apps, okay? Go to the props. 27-23. And McCaffrey over the damn long reception. You know it's going to hit.
And the National Star Spangled Banner.
The Star Spangled Banner over how many?
345.
222. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Bye, people.
Bye. Bye.
Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
I want to make money. Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
Couple of bettors.